Hello, welcome to Jazz Emporium. So today's going to be another channeling of Liam Payne. Out of respect for everybody, I didn't post anything on Liam Payne's death date, and I just want to give a condolence there for his family, his friends, his loved ones, his bandmates, his son Bear, Kate, Cheryl, everybody that's involved still. And like I said, today's going to be a day where we're just going to be seeing what comes up in the collective, because I've been seeing, again, 444 a lot. So that tells me he wants to do another channeling. And that basically I want to see what's going on with him. So we're going to see 1 year later and see how he's doing in the cosmos. So again, just to let you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please keep civil in the comment section. If you do want to book a personal reading, please do so at jazzemporium.com. Also, don't forget to follow my website. And international people, please message me at jazzemporium@gmail.com. So I want to address another comment or another thing I saw on Twitter. No, it was not directed at me, but no, it was Rosie, posted this about some girl who got mad at a Louis Tomlinson Away From Home festival and basically commented this. I just want to say something there about that. And I don't normally like to drag people in the mud. I usually keep very quiet about most things. You know, I am human. I have said some things and, you know, on Twitter and stuff like that. So shoot me, I'm a human. But I'm going to say this. Whoever said that, because it wasn't Rosie, it was somebody else that reposted, and that's why I took out Rosie's name. I want to give a warm welcoming fuck you. How dare you speak about autistic people like that? I don't know if the girl who was working for Louis, I think she was working or something for Louis or whatever. How dare you say that to somebody, and saying that JFK should round up autistic people to basically round us up and pretty much exterminate us. And you're probably thinking, well, Jazz, why does this comment bother you so much? Yeah, you're looking at one. I have autism. I am an autistic person. So if any of you have a problem with that, or if any of you don't like the fact that I'm autistic, or you don't like who the hell I am, or you're just watching for shits and giggles, if any of you feel that strongly about autistic people, you can unsubscribe right now or block me, delete me, whatever, because that shit's not right. And whoever wrote that, I ain't fucking going anywhere. I'm autistic, and you ain't getting shit from me, honey. And if you're on my channel, remove yourself. Because that's some almost Adolf Hitler shit. You saying you want to exterminate a group of people? That's disgusting. Sorry. That's absolutely disgusting. And no, I don't normally like to drag people in the comments. And I know you're probably thinking, well, Jazz, how can you tell us to not be rude and nasty in the comments and stuff? And how can you say that on your video? How dare she say something like that to a group of people? That's ableism. That's discrimination against disabled people. And yes, I've taken a bit of a break. I've taken some time to recalibrate myself. But that shit's not right. I don't care what it is. If you're black, white, disabled, whatever, nobody should be exterminating anybody. Period. So. But anyway, if you don't like what I just said there, that's on you. That's a you problem. And I have a right to speak my mind just like everybody else. So I hope you do enjoy this video. I wasn't trying to make it into drama or anything, but I just thought to say my piece publicly on a public platform. And I shouldn't give that person more than 5 seconds of my time, but I just thought it needed to be said because you know what? And mind you, with the comment, young girl, do you have more than 4 words in your vocabulary? Just saying. But anywho, I hope you do enjoy this video, and we'll see what comes out in the channeling. And again, just thought to say my piece, and that's that, and that's all attention I'll be giving that one. Anyway, love you guys. Bye for now.
Look at the smiles on their face. They're like, yeah, righty, let's.
Fruit, like Nutri-Grain bar, and she was so happy about it. He's like,
bless you.
oh, no way. Oh,
This is.
whose fault was that, Liam? It was your fault, Liam.
Stressed down, I won't let it go. Let's go way out, face down,
Små grodorna, små grodorna.
You're making me go all shy now.
Cold and I'm really, really cold. I'm cold and I'm cold. I'm really, really cold. I'm cold and I'm cold. Harry's really cold. Are you cold?
I'm like you guys, right?
Yeah, you are, man, yeah.
Still got it.
I haven't got insurance.
Hello. You've got very colourful trousers on.
They're back. The video diaries are back. The video diaries are back. The video diaries.
Dance, go! Bow, 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 bow.
Get that camera out my face. Get out my face.
Capture what our day was like, so they were just kind of around. It was fun.
So they think we're too young. I don't get sick on rides, I'm much stronger than that. This is difficult. You.
What would you eat?
Chocolate.
Why?
Because, oh god.
Why?
It tastes chocolatey.
Liam.
Hi. Go and get him. Huh? I said once you've got an instrument in your hands, I've got no little mini Chris Hemsworth is.
Hello, welcome to Jazz Emporium. So I've taken a bit of a break and now I've come back. So yes, this is going to be a channeling on Liam Payne. So let's write him in. Liam James Payne. Okay, so I got my clear quartz here. Let's channel. Let's see what he's got to say. Okay. He's saying hello, hi, and he goes, thank you for having me again. And I said, it's no problem, Liam. I said, I'm gracious to have you too, and welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. He says, I said, okay, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what have you learned from the other side thus far? He's saying, angels have wings. He says, I wouldn't say I'm a literal angel, but it's so strange. He says, when you're in the other side, and he's showing me a pair of wings here, he says, you learn and see things from a higher perspective of what you've lived in your life, he says. That is the big thing that that you learn with this whole experience. You get to learn new things on the other side. You get to see another perspective. You learn about ascension processes. He says, the one thing is you get to see your family and your loved ones again, almost like a beautiful reunion. He says, it's so pretty. He says it's a wonderful process. He goes, I sought to see my nan and my other relatives that have passed away. He goes, the cool thing about being a spirit is, he goes, you can actually go in multiple different places at once, he said. He says you could travel and, you know, you're not tied to a physical body, so you get to travel and see things and see different perspectives of people. You get to go, and he goes, no pun intended, you get to go in all directions, he says. That's the big thing here. He says, I could be visiting my son and then go plop off and see Louis or Cheryl or anyone else for that matter of anything. And we get to see and experience different bodily functions. We feel more empathy on the other side. We actually get to understand how the other person's feeling on a deeper level, he says. So what do you feel that you've experienced on the other side that you wouldn't experience here? We don't seem to feel hunger or pain in the same way because we have no physical body. So we do crave food, but it's not on a level of we need to have it kind of thing. We have everything we need on the other side, but it's completely different. He says that we don't capacitize food the same way either, he says. He goes, I still miss my fish and chips. He says, I still miss certain foods like French fries, McDonald's. He says, I love their chicken nuggets. He goes, and their, I think he's saying the quarter pounder or like the cheeseburgers, he's saying. He goes, but most of all, besides the food and stuff, he goes, I miss my loved ones. He goes, the food, that's just secondary. You know, the sleep, we don't sleep either, really. We do when we don't. We morely meditate, he says, versus sleeping. The perception of time is different on the other side, he says, too. That's another thing that's coming in here. The perception time, there is no time over there. It's just, you just exist and everything is at peace and at ease. He says it's perfect. When they say heaven's perfect, he goes, it is perfect, he says, you know. Literally, he says that it's so perfect. He says he misses and loves every single one of you, he says. He says he still sees the love and the outpour that you give him. He says, thank you so much for being supportive. He says, please still leave Kate alone. She had nothing to do with my death. He's just reaffirming that again, and give support to Cheryl and Bear. He says, and please support my family and loved ones, especially Ruth. It's hitting her harder right now, his sister. But he says, give my family and Kate and everybody all the love that I'm not here to give to them. That's so sweet. He's saying, please give them all the love and support. That's what he's basically saying here. He says, please rally around my family members and Kate and Cheryl and Bear. You know, be the fans that we know and love you to be. He's saying, please don't be hateful, because that's another thing that's coming out here. He's still reminding people, words hurt. Please don't attack any of my loved ones. Don't. He's strongly telling you people not to attack his loved ones. That's a big one that's coming up here. And he's showing me a big purple light in the purple tunnel. He just got out of the tunnel. So when you're going in from the other side, now when I channel spirits, oftentimes I envision a purple tunnel and it opens, and that's how they can come walk in and out. And that's how, as a medium, I get to speak to them. So, I mean, this video is sort of like explaining how the spirit world kind of works, how it don't. Like, Liam wanted me to explain it further for you guys so that you understand what he's experiencing on the other side. And if you guys don't like this video, that's fine. If you do, that's great. I mean, I would still like to do more videos about that and teach you guys about the other side and how mediums like me and others do communicate with others on the other side. And remember, Liam's also reminding you guys that when you talk, he listens. If you shout out to him and cry or whatever, he listens and he hears that. Every thought, everything that you have, spirits can also read minds. Spirits can also read energy. They can read thoughts. They can read everything. They're at a higher conscious level. Sorry guys if I cough. Yesterday I had a problem with a pesky little bug that I had to get rid of, and I had to spray the spray can, and I accidentally breathed the fumes in. Not good. And it was just one pesky little thing, right? So if you hear me cough and you see me wince, it's because my lungs have, well, been shot. I made some tea, so let's see. Hopefully this tea is not too hot. Okay, it's still a little too hot, but I just thought to make myself a cup of tea and get into this. So again, Liam's also reminding me in heaven that, yes, you go through a review in heaven. They show you every little bits and piece of your life. And he showed me like almost like a board of like, you know, like the story of my life with all the photographs of his life, but they come alive, almost like the Harry Potter. He showed me like photographs come alive and stuff. And, you know, and they don't judge you like oh, you did this and you're going to hell. It's more like, what could you have done better here? Would you like to come back and learn that again? Or do you want to, like, you know, redo this? And they do give you breaks. You don't just go right into it. They do give you breaks and stuff, he says. So, I mean, there's that aspect. And you get to learn things on the other side. And you get to come back in little missions, like little side quests, he says, like a video game almost. That, you know, for example, if someone died early or died from unaliving themselves or different things, you can come back as a ghost or a spirit being and actually guide and try to help people along their journey as almost like a thank you or a montage to the spirits. Or I don't want to say like a penance or debt, but you kind of come back and you kind of, I guess, soothe the wound inside yourself. So you get to live it through another and you get to help another. And Liam says he's done a couple of missions already with people because he just simply wanted to help others. And that's why he got into things like music, or why he wanted to do something like firefighting. He said, whatever career I was going to choose, I knew I wanted to be to help others. And he showed me like a little bandage, a little, like the emojicon with the little bandage on its head. And he said he just wanted to help others. That's all he wanted to do, was to help others. That was the big thing that come up here with his life mission and journey. So what else? Let's see. Do you guys live in houses in heaven? He says in a way, yes. Anything that we want. He says it is sort of like the typical pearly gates, but not. You have your own little place where you go to whenever you want to like rest and stuff, but it's not what people think. We're not tied to material things like homes, food, or anything like that. It's more like whatever you envision in your head, it comes to be in your reality in that life. He goes, it's like manifesting something. He goes, it comes into your inner reality and it just magically comes up. It's like magic. we can't do that on this earth. We've been stripping those privileges, he says. Those privileges don't exist on here. Like over there and the other side, he goes, everything that you want, you can have it right in front of you. We never have to want for nothing. It's not like in this world that you guys live in that there's poor, there's rich, there's middle class. He goes, everybody is equal to everybody there. It's so beautiful and it's so peaceful there. He goes, that's like the perfect holiday. He has a joke. He says, you should try it. I'm like, Liam, like, don't say stuff like that, because then, well, we don't want people getting any weird ideas. You know, Jazz Emporium does not permit of anyone that does anything really wacky or weird like that. Please don't. How did it feel that you were gone for a year? He goes, time is so different on the other side, he says, because a year is like a blink to us. Time does not exist in the same relative or fortitude as you guys, he's saying, because there is no time, there is no clocks there is nothing there that holds you or binds you to this world, or not even really day or night. He says it does happen, but not really in the context that you guys are programmed into your daily world. It's not the same over there. Completely different, he says. He says it's so beautiful there. It's you don't even worry about time. He says you're more at peace, you're more happy, you're more fulfilled, you're more just at ease and at peace. He says that is the big thing, ease and peace. And he showed me a little island with water and palm trees and stuff like that. He just says you're so much more at ease and peace with this, you know. And he goes, it's a hard thing to conceptualize and understand, he says, but again, that's not until you guys pass away, which he goes, I hope for all of you it's not too soon, you know, because he goes, we need to make this earth a better place, he says, and we're not doing that as humans, and that's coming up too. He says, you know, try to use your incarnation on this planet to service and be better to others and be kind to one another. He says there's too much cruelty in this world. Be kind to one another, he says. He says, I see what people are saying about Kate. Stop that. She has a right to grieve how she wants to grieve, I'm hearing. Same thing with Cheryl, same thing with my son Bear and my family. He goes, my family and her, I mean, they get along to a point, but you know, there is, with people, you gotta understand. He goes, grief brings out different things in people, different memories, different feelings, thoughts, and grief is not linear, he says. I want people to understand that grief is not linear, and we shouldn't judge others how they choose to feel their grief. And again, I'm not mean that in no insult to the Payne family or Cheryl or Kate or anybody that chooses to grieve like that. And no, I'm not an ass kisser to Kate, just to let you know, because I've broken the channeling for a sec. I feel people should have a right to grieve how they grieve. And yes, the family has a right to blow the whistle too if they don't feel it's right, just much as Kate has a right to grieve how she wants to grieve. I see both perspectives. I'm trying to keep neutral and see both perspectives. And I'm not trying to be a bad guy or insult anybody. I see both perspectives. So, I mean, you take that as you want. If you hate me for saying that, good, hate me. You know, I just much as Liam has an opinion, Kate has an opinion, his family has an opinion, you have an opinion, everybody has an opinion, right? So, I mean, that's what he feels about that. He says, I love both my family and Kate very much. I love them very much, both of them. And they both have a right to grieve how they choose to want to grieve. Just much as the fans have a right to choose how they want to grieve, but do it respectfully. That's all he asked for. If people are going to grieve him, please do it on a respectful level. Because he says, we're humans, they're humans, and everybody's human on this planet and have a right to grieve how they choose to want to grieve. That's a big thing I'm getting is please be respectful. You know, he showed me a flower. Come in peace, not anger, he's saying. He's saying, like, he just wants people to grieve how they want to grieve, but not be an ass about it. You know, that's a big thing that's coming up here. And he goes, and I'm so proud of the boys, of their healing process, and Kate and everybody that's went through this process. He says, I'm proud of you all. You know, he goes, I love every single one of you. And he goes, I'm so proud of you all. And I'm sorry that I had to leave that way. And he's really driving that home, that he is so sorry that he had to leave in that way for you guys. Because he goes, it was traumatizing for everybody around me. It was traumatizing to my fans. It was traumatizing to Kate. He said it was traumatizing to everybody. And I'm hearing especially Louis. Harry, Zane, Niall, all of them. Cheryl, my son Bear, most of all. He's saying he's really driving that home that, you know, he feels so sorry that he had to leave his kid so soon, he says. Like, he's really almost in tears about that because he said, I really, really wanted to be a father. And that's the most important one here. We need to protect that boy as best as we can. Just do it respectfully, I'm hearing. You know, and he goes, and do it in the confines of law, because he goes, my fans can, he's laughing, my fans can get a little crazy at times. He's reminding you all, please do it in the confines of the law. Don't be doing something that's going to throw you guys in jail. Because he says, come on, like, that's not right. He goes, just be respectful of people. That's all he's asking is respect. Because he doesn't want people to attack one another. And, you know, and he goes, be mindful of conspiracy theories about my death. And there is more coming that's going to be coming out in the wash, he's saying. And side note, if you guys want to look previously to that video, because I didn't post it that day, but, you know, click here to view that video. I don't know if it's going to come up or not, but yes, I did do one about his, the 1 year anniversary to his death. I made sure I posted that beginning of October so it didn't trigger you guys. So if you want to take a gander at that, that'd be great. Not pushing it until you guys are ready, because I know some people are still not ready to even view that. You guys do it when you're ready. Again, grief is not a linear process, and he's just reminding that to everybody, that grief is not a linear process, and please be respectful. He's showing me a grave site and stuff. He says he's honored that all the fans are still leaving tributes for him at the Wolverton, he's basically saying, where he was born and stuff. He says thank you. He says it does mean a lot to me. He goes, the only sad part is when I've died in October, he goes, I get to miss Halloween. He's showing me that he misses Halloween. He's showing me the Chucky makeup and stuff. He goes, I miss all the holiday seasons. He goes, I miss Halloween. I miss Christmas. I miss my son's birthday, my birthday, everybody. He goes, I do miss things from this, from Earth. Excuse me. Ooh, ouch. I was coughing so much yesterday because I accidentally choked on the fumes, but ouch. He goes, I miss all my friends and family. He goes, I miss spending time with them during the holiday seasons. I miss basically being around my loved ones. He says that's a big one. And he goes, I want to say I'm so proud of the boys and their successes. He goes, I'm watching every single one of them. He goes, it's amazing what they're doing in their own little directions that they're flying in. He goes, I am so proud of every single one of you. He says, thank you so much for being the best friends and the bandmates that I could have asked for, he says. Okay, is there anything else, Liam? He goes, to my parents, I love you and I miss you so, so much. He goes, I miss my dad, I miss my mom so, so much. He goes, I see you guys when you cry. He says, the one thing that he didn't like about being a spirit, and this almost brought tears to my eyes because, you know, I did channel him previously earlier this week, privately. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you want to talk about next? And he says, I want to talk about more of the afterlife and what I experienced as a spirit. When people walked past him and through him. He goes, the cool thing about being a spirit is doors and windows and certain objects that way don't apply to you, he says. But when people walked through me that I knew and I was merely a memory, he goes, that hit me hard. And that even chokes me up a little bit because I'm like, that's like the finale when you're a spirit, when you realize you're gone, is when people run through you or when they walk through you. Because again, you gotta understand, we're on a different plane than people that have passed on. We're down here, they're up here. As in like different dimensions and portals, almost like the fifth dimension, or they're at a higher plane level. So it's like almost like the afterlife is almost like inches off the ground, but you go through like a portal. And the sad part is when you're out of that body, because you have a non-copial body, meaning like you don't have a physical body, or you're not made of physical matter anymore, you're energy. And that's basically what a spirit is energy. They walk through you and right through you. So it is really sad. He goes, that was a head trip for me and a half. That really shook me up. And, you know, to touch objects or anything, like they can't do that in the physical plane. Sometimes if they get enough energy and if they're strong enough as a spirit, it can move little objects and stuff, but it very, very, very little for minute scale time. You know, and yes, there are some negative spirits that do stay here and suck people's souls out and stuff. I could get that in another video. I'll do that for another video for you guys to explain it more better, because that we would be here for hours and me trying to explain the logics of that, right? He goes, that literally shattered me, and especially my son. My son sometimes sees me and hears me, he says. Children are way more intuitive and they can hear and see spirits. So, you know, if your brother, little brother, sister, cousin, whatever is a child around you, and they say, hey, I see a human, believe them, because often 9 times out of 10, kids are very close to spirits, and especially babies, because babies are the closest to the divine. They've been the shortest time on this earth. He says earth kind of like decodes you from being more intuitive. So that is a big issue that does come up with spirits, because again, they're now more of an intuition based versus reality based kind of things. So is there anything else you want to say? He goes, much love and light to you all. Thank you so much. He goes, for still keeping my memory alive, and thank you so much. He says, I appreciate and love you all. He's saying thank you so much. He goes, and I'll talk to you guys another time. Thank you, much love. Okay, so that was the Liam Payne reading. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was kind of an off-kilter one, and he didn't want to talk about necessarily himself. He wanted to talk about what his experiences were on the other side, because that's something he really wanted to talk about for a long while, but he waited until he was ready. So thank you so much for tuning into this reading. If you want to book a personal reading, please do so at jazzemporium.com. Thank you so much. And for international people, please email me at jazzemporium@gmail.com. We can discuss PayPal arrangements, because I do PayPal. And please subscribe to my website, and lots of good things coming. And I shall see you later. Thank you so much. Bye for now.